Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brent Hoskins, and I serve as Executive Director of the Business Technology Association, and I'd like to welcome you to today's Diversifying My Business webinar. Today's webinar is Unlock Recurring Revenue, Expand into AI-Powered Content Management and Automation. It will be presented by Meg Fleming of Blue Iris IQ, Brett McGoy of Konica Minolta, and Jeff McWilliams of Square9 Softworks. So if you have questions along the way, just type them into the Zoom chat or Q&A there on the screen, and we will address those at the end of the presentation. So with that, let's get started. Meg, I'll turn it over to you.
Great. Thank you, Brent. Appreciate the introduction. Again, I'm Meg Fleming, and it's my pleasure to be joining all of you here today virtually with my colleague from Konica Minolta, Brett McGoy, and Jeff McWilliams from Square9 Softworks. As a part of the Diversifying Business webinar series, we're here to show you a way that we believe that you can grow your business with only a small investment. So just as a brief introduction, I've been in the industry for over 3 decades, working most of my career for an independent dealer, joining Konica Minolta in 2015 as part of an acquisition. And as part of my past, I've designed and implemented successful solutions teams that focus on implementation and support of things such as print management, secure fax, as well as automated workflow. That team was a unique identifier for our dealership and allowed us to really transition into consultants that solve true business issues across multiple spectrums within an organization. And I'm really excited to be here today to try and help you see how diversification of your organization can allow you to achieve some continued growth. So next slide, please. During our time together, we're going to talk a little bit about the market and the opportunity. We're going to introduce you to Blue Iris IQ, the newly formed Konica Minolta company. We're going to outline our new program and then share some insights into the actual software and some of the really cool things that Square9 has done over the last few months that will end our presentation. So with that, let's get started here. So I wanted to start by setting a baseline and talk about some of the statistics that the analysts are sharing. And the first one is McKinsey Digital predicts that 92% of companies are planning to invest more dollars into generative AI products over the course of the next 3 years. And the primary reasons are to streamline process, create efficiencies, and really increase productivity while minimizing expense. Keypoint Intelligence is saying that by 2028, print volumes are going to decline 16% due to the impact that digital transformation and AI adoption is going to be having on the market. And furthermore, the CAG is predicting that intelligent document automation, that digitization and streamlining of data is going to grow by 17.2% during that same time frame. So based on these statistics, diversification of portfolios is even more critical than it has been in the past. And we believe that the market for this is ripe with competition. When I reflect on my time as a dealer, we were always looking for those ways that we could bring extra value, protect our MIF, and uncover opportunities where we could sell deeper and wider inside of existing relationships. We needed to be able to create content that would create off-lease cycle discussions, allowing us access to a whole host of number of different stakeholders across an organization so that we could be seen as that go-to provider when it came to all things tech. And based on market readiness and the demand, there really couldn't be a better time to be more compelled to capitalize on this area where the analysts are saying businesses are going to be focused over the next few years. Here at Konica Minolta, within our intelligent information practice, we're aligned with those market trends and where analysts are predicting this focus will happen over the next couple of years. We have 3 core pillars: that intelligent content solutions, that really is about content and case management, helping organizations integrate their information, processes, and collaboration tools into that cohesive framework. We have intelligent automation, where we can implement intelligent document processing or AI to automate manual processes, reducing cost and increasing operational efficiencies. And we have scanning services that, conversion of a physical item, whether it's film, fiche, blueprints, documents, or what have you, all into some form of digitized format. We can support organizations on that digital journey, no matter what their size is. They can be small to enterprise, And we work with the partners that are outlined across the bottom here that can work to offer a whole host of different point solutions or platforms that can be structured or designed to really help solve business issues. We're always looking for different ways to be creative and expand upon these relationships so that we can build more meaningful or futuristic offerings and bring those forth into the marketplace. Next slide, Brett. One of our unique, you can click next again, please, Brett. Thanks. Great. So one of the unique attributes, I think, of our team is that we actually have over 200 employees that are just scattered all over the US that span disciplines from consultation to research and development, engineering to ongoing support, sales enablement, operations, that all average 23 years or more of experience within this specific industry. And we support over 1,000 customers today and place value on our relationships, always trying to deliver a 5-star experience, which is why we're able to retain north of 97% of all of our customers. The Konica Minolta brand, as you know it out in the market, has long been associated with that words like trust or reliability and longevity. We've always been seen as leaders when it comes to the market for innovation or those high quality print solutions. But there are a lot of different businesses that can live underneath that Konica Minolta umbrella, such as All Covered, our IT offering, or Force Security for surveillance and security. And while we always want to stay true to our brand and stay true to the Konica Minolta name, we really believe that in order to leverage our reputation and grow our business, that we needed to present something that would show that we do offer things far beyond just standard print. And this particular practice has carried the moniker of ECM, Enterprise Content Management, and that really described the more of the what we do, not the who we are. And then we transitioned to Intelligent Information Management, which again is more about what we do and not necessarily who we are. So over the last several years, we've continued to see a lot of growth in our business. And as the world of transformation continues to explode, we believe that we're at a place where we need to put a little bit more attention and measurement on our offerings so that we can create our new brand, a new vision, and bring clarity of purpose to have a more defined set of deliverables being brought forth to the market. So all of that in a long way to say, we're rebranding our Intelligent Information Management organization to Blue Iris IQ. It's got a new brand, a new logo, a new name, and we're going to be going to market with some of these solutions that Brett and Jeff are going to be sharing with you here in a few moments with that new moniker. So you may be sitting here saying, well, what's Blue Iris mean? And the blue clearly ties us right back to the Konica Minolta reputation, highlighting that concept of trust and reliability that we've been able to rely upon. The iris is really being visionary, not just with our ability to be innovative internally, but for that vision that we'll be able to provide organizations to use and access all of their data and information. And IQ is really all about the tech and the use of AI-driven intelligence. So as a part of this launch of our new brand, we're also thrilled with our recently formed exclusive partnership with Square9. With Konica Minolta now as the sole North American distributor of their offerings, here at Blue Iris, we're working to build a team to help deliver an end-to-end service and support across the channel. And together, we're trying to work to centralize service delivery, accelerate implementation, and strengthen post-sales support. So our goal is to be able to have you outsource the problems and challenges that you face to us and allow us to be an extension of your organization. It's expensive and can be cost prohibitive to try and build this all out on your own. I did that. And in today's market, with salaries, retention rate, instability of the workforce, it makes it even more difficult. So through this combining of forces, we can act as an extension of your system in meetings, probe during the discovery phase, help with napkin math exercises, facilitate guided demos of the product. Once you have an order that you have signed, we can help ensure that the client experience is highly successful and emulate that high quality brand that you're representing with the experience. And we'll perform all the required onboarding, proper configuration, and training. You will have access to our support desk for any ongoing challenges or issues that may arise. In summary, we're positioned and are here to help. So with that high level kind of overview of who Blue Iris is and where we're headed here, I want to hand it over to my colleague Brett and allow him to take us on the journey through the details of the new program that we built so that you can see what some of the next steps for you might be. So Brett, I'm going to hand that over to you.
All right, thank you, Meg. So to Meg's point, with cloud and AI, it's never been easier to deploy ECM solution. And you can count on our team as an extension of your own, providing both pre-sales and post-sales support without requiring you to invest in additional internal resources. At the same time, our programs are designed to empower you to build your own service organization independently as your business grows. So another aspect of this is that, you want to look at securing your customer base, right? Solutions that solve problems are rarely replaced. And then partner with a team that has a proven track record with a 93% customer retention rate speaks for itself. So let's talk a little bit about the program. Now, we have 3 tiers within this program. First tier is going to be our business tier. That's more geared towards a reseller that's not looking to specialize in IAM or ECM, but would still like to get the benefit of that annual recurring revenue. Authorized dealers are going to be more of a traditional solution sales house where they have salespeople that are out talking about solutions. There is going to be a commitment of 25 new opportunities per year to continue in that authorized program. And then you also get some other benefits as far as a NFR license for a cloud instance that we refund back once you hit a $50,000 annual revenue. Elite resellers are going to be, anyone that's bringing in over 100,000 in annual recurring revenue. They're going to offer their own level 1 support, pre-sale support, post-sale support. They're pretty much self-sufficient. So that's our 3 tiers of the program. Then when we look at the pricing, so, when we start talking about margin on the software, that business tier is going to be 20% across the board for software, the professional services, and that annual recurring revenue. For authorized and elite, you're going to get 40% on the software. You're going to get 20% on the professional services. And then with the annual recurring revenue, it's going to range between 25 and 40 points on whether you're authorized or reseller. A couple of benefits: no reseller fees. We're not going to require any type of fees. I mentioned the NFR cloud instance. This is a value of around $15,000 at a discounted rate of $3,500. And then also we're looking at dealer essentials. So this is a pre-built solution that we can provide that's going to tie into your sales order process. So, being able to utilize the product and have your sales teams utilize this product as well. Dealer marketing, we're going to have co-branded materials between Square9 and Blue Iris. We're going to have 90-day onboardings to make sure that we're staying on track. Multiple marketing managers to support our dealers with their marketing initiatives, and then spiffs and incentives to encourage the sales teams to get out and evangelize the product. So we heard earlier from Meg about companies planning to invest more in AI. We got print decline. We're looking at intelligent document automation as a growing industry. So I'm excited to pass this on over to Jeff McWilliams with Square9 to share some information about who they are and introduce you to a new AI capture solution that has changed the game when it comes to capturing information from any type of document. So with that said, here you go, Jeff.
Hey, nicely said. I appreciate that, Brett. Thank you. I'm going to start off with something that you might find offensive. What you think you know about capture software is probably 6 months outdated. I'm going to show you 4 documents that 6 months ago, had we received them from a dealer and somebody asked, hey, can you help us extract data off of this thing? We would have laughed. We walked away from projects like that. And now we have a challenge out there where we're trying to get our reseller community to send us the most egregious documents and try and stump us. And so far, we're undefeated. So stay with me here for a second. I'm going to spend 10 minutes. I'm going to show you a couple cool things. Brett? Most of you know who we are. If you don't, we're an intelligent information management platform. We help businesses automate processes through HR, AR, AP, transportation, higher education, patient files, you name it. We don't really care where it's at. If there's a high volume of documents in a process, our job is to help automate that process. All right. Here are our 3 big pillars, and I'll just go right down to the bullet points. We use AI data access. We extract information using AI up front. So mission critical data that's on business critical documents. So that's the capture side. Next, we put that information into motion to automate processes for approvals and routing and to get the formality out of the way through whatever kind of process that is. And then we integrate with your ERP systems, whether it's Microsoft Business Central, QuickBooks Online, Sage, Salesforce. We don't really care. We're pretty big in the agricultural retail space. There are a handful of products over there that work out great. So yeah, extract the data, put it into motion, and then push it over to your ERP system. And we do that with 4 basic products. I'll start in the top left. We've always had Capture included in our global search platform. Some of you sell it on its own. That's pretty cool too. You can just strip out Capture and sell it and then push information to SharePoint or wherever you need it to go. On the right-hand side is the workflow engine. The bottom left is the long-term storage for accessing business critical files. And then of course we have web-based forms if you want to take the paper out of the process and have people fill out applications, PTO requests, fill out expense reports. You don't need paper for that. We can use web-based forms. So that's our platform. So I'm going to show you a few things and tell you why we're so cool, but nothing like a G2 rating from the last 2 weeks that puts our ROI at the fastest over our competitors. We score pretty high. This is a third-party company that goes through and compares all of these platforms. So yeah, we win awards and stuff on occasion, so you can trust us. Keep going. All right, so what is Global Capture? That's all we're going to focus on today. So Global Capture pulls documents and data from multiple sources. It could be a network file share, it could be an email, it could be a print stream from an ERP system. And then we do something with it. We classify it as X, Y, or Z. We pull the correct information off of it. We then put it into motion through approvals, and then we share it out. So really, it's any type of document, any type of data into any ERP system at this point. Okay? You guys probably know us as the accounts payable company because we work so strongly in extracting invoice data, putting those invoices into a process for approval, and then pushing the data over to create a payables transaction. We're pretty darn good at that. But this is our newest PowerPoint because we are encouraging our reseller community to go find any process that's document heavy and to try and figure out if we can extract data off of it. So insurance estimates, we are pulling off all the information from contracts, who originated it, who signed it, when was it signed, what's the term, and then delivering a 100-word summary. It's pretty awesome. So, and on the order processing side, that had been a difficult one for us, Brett. You've been doing this for a long time because if a business receives sales orders or purchase orders from its customer base, they're all different. So how can you possibly build time-consuming, deal-breaking professional service estimates for an infinite number of document types? It's not the case anymore. Again, I'll go back to that original statement. What you think you know about capture might be about 6 months old. All right, so let's take a look at it. Fast forward one for me. Just pop a couple times. All right, so the purple button is the AI extraction node. At that point, we use a generative AI toolkit through a prompt-based system, kind of like ChatGPT, and I'll show you one, to pull information off. And then we put it into motion and we send it someplace. It either finished out correctly or it needs to be reviewed. It's not hard. So I want to show you what the prompt looks like for a recent homestead application we got. I put this in there because that's the classic look for invoices. That's the one that everybody is used to, but check this out. If Brett and I worked together and he was a new employee, I would say for every homestead application, Brett, that comes in, I want you to look at owner one and then type in owner one's name in the owner one field. Owner two goes in the owner two field. I need a property address. I need a mailing address. I need you to verify for me on there as well if the checkbox exists for primary address as mailing address. And he's like, well, this sounds like a menial project that I can do. I'm like, great, I have 10,000 of them a month for you to do. Okay, so if you look at the prompt here, I'm telling it to extract this data in the same way that you would train an employee. And again, it's a ChatGPT style prompt. If you've ever used it and you've engaged in a conversation, you basically request information and it delivers it back. So let's look at that document. First thing you should notice is that it's handwritten. 6 months ago, we would have said no to this. 6 months ago, we would have looked at this like this would be cool if we could do ICR at this level of accuracy. There are no context boxes, letter boxes. It's just somebody's handwriting. And if you look at John Taxpayer, his Y goes right through the A for Jill's. I picked it up anyway. 452 Front Street. Down there at the bottom right, it says, is the primary residence? And it says yes. So it looked for a checkbox to find out where it's at next to the yes. All we asked it to do was look on the form and deliver back this result. No templates. I won't forget it, the day Brian Bennett, our CTO, said the day of templates is over. We're done. And it'll have its place in highly repetitive exact same documents potentially, but the reality is when you ask the software to do something, it delivers. Keep going, Brett. I just want to share too with our own iPass connector. One of the things that we have that we don't third party like other competitors of ours is that we connect via API to host systems with our own iPass connector. That may be just right over your head and that's okay, but customers dig it because half the bridge is already built and it's connected to global search. So we can push and pull, give and get data all day long. Okay, so very reliable. When we get off this call, I challenge you to go to our website, click on solutions, and then find the button for generative AI. When you do, this screen pops up. There are 3 orange buttons at the bottom. Now, these are pre-configured prompts. One for invoices, one for sales orders and POs, and one for contracts. So if you have a contract, you recently got signed with a client for a 3-year deal and it includes X, Y, and Z, drop it in the contracts button. It'll ask you for your email and then wait a couple minutes and you're going to get an email that shows who originated it, what's the length of the contract, has it been countersigned, what's the recipient's name, when does this thing term, what's the end date. Can you imagine having that workflow set up that said every time a contract is within 60 days or 90 days of its term date, and they're all stored electronically in your system? That's pretty cool. So recently I was on a webinar with a software partner, and I got asked the question from a C-store, a convenience store owner in Kentucky, can you read lottery shift reports? And I'm in sales, so naturally I said yes. And I said, but seriously, do me a favor. Take it, and if it looks like a sales order, put it in the sales order button on our website. If it looks like an invoice, put it there. So this is the email I got back about 15 minutes later. And the summary reads, this is a shift report from the Kentucky Lottery showing sales transactions for various lottery games and instant games. And it shows the number of games played and the cash collected. Now, for demonstration purposes, we only grabbed the first 10 lines. The amount is $1,149, and that exists on the bottom right of this ticket. So there are two sections, a top section and a bottom section, and it just looked on there and said, okay, I'll go find the total amount. I'll give you a summary. I'll give you the order date, and I'll get you the order number. So, I mean, that extraction's not even built for a lottery shift report, but Lois at XYZ Oil Company in Kentucky goes, holy cow. So that just works on the fly. Let's go look at the next one. This is ridiculous. Mike Kakachi out of the Northeast, if you know him, he gave it to Brian and said, can you do this? And Brian said, what is the business case here? Why would I extract this information? And it's a talk moment to remember. People want to pull the words off and post them about feedback from customers from this travel agency. The literal text we got back was, my talk moment was visiting the Sistine Chapel after hours, allowing all the guests and the guide and the security guards to exit and standing alone by myself in the Sistine Chapel. That's ridiculous handwriting. Now, there is a question mark in the bottom right. If you see it down there, it's because nobody in our entire company can understand what this word is. So this is egregious. And again, 6 months ago, no, we're not doing this. Kachi went and sold it. So we're good to go. Check out this next one, and I'll end on a bang here. There's an appliance company that does on-site work, and they handwrite, they take a picture, and then they email it back to somebody who then takes the data and keys it in and invoices against it. And this is a picture of a Post-it note. We didn't recreate the Post-it note. We sent that picture through our Gen AI and said, can you go get me the work order, sales order, the type, the quantity, and the date? And it extracted it perfectly. So I asked Keith, what did this yield for him? He goes, they paid for 3 years up front. We gave him a discount. That's a 27.7 deal. He just closed it like 2 weeks ago. So again, this is blowing our minds as much as it is yours. We would be limiting in our scope if we said, go find any transaction that's high volume in the past. And it's just not the way anymore. Try it on our website. Encourage your sales teams to go out and find, again, the most egregious document with the gnarliest extraction expectations, and email it to Brett or myself or Meg, or go right onto our website, sales at, and drop it over and say, I bet you can't do this. And let us try. So I'm stoked to see where this goes next. We're not saying no to projects. Our PS engagement time is dropping significantly, allowing clients to receive a faster ROI because they're not investing so much in project work. I think Brian told us we had a 32-day project because it was so vast, boiled down to 4 with generative AI. So that's us. I don't have much else to say except challenge us and jump on the website and try and drop a few samples in. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, so I would just like to add, I've been a part of the I've been working with Capture for probably 15 plus years, and this is the first thing that's gotten me excited in 15 years, to be honest with you. I've played around with it myself and tried to throw some stuff at it to confuse it, and it amazes me. So pretty excited about this new product. All right, so just to finish up, I want to talk about some next steps and call to action. So if you are, what you've seen today and what you've heard and you're interested, let's get a call set up. Let's discuss, your goals and what you're trying to accomplish. We'll customize a 90-day plan. We'll come up with some education, some training, and then start working on lead generation, right? We have marketing sales kits. We talked about that earlier with our marketing teams working together. We can help you with social media, website content, call scripts, lunch and learn events, webinar campaigns, just anything that's going to generate leads and help you be more successful. So last question would be, how do I contact you? So So for more information, just feel free to reach out to IIM_dealer at KMBS, HanukkahMinolta.us. And we will be more than happy to set up a call and kind of dive in deeper with you. So with that said, I want to thank everybody for your time. And appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you, Meg and Brett and Jeff. Great information, a lot of exciting stuff here. And you know, it's a sign of the times, the types of technology we're talking about these days, right? Compared to whatever, any point in the past. So attendees, now is the time. If you've got questions or comments that you'd like to share, you can type them into the Q&A or the chat there on the screen. I'm kind of watching both. I can tell you that I do see in Q&A, someone says, you know, I arrived late. Do I need to be a Konica Minolta dealer to be a part of this program?
No. No, you do not.
Okay. Simple answer. Direct to the point. Very good. Very good. So somebody asked, was this recorded? Yes, it is being recorded. You may have seen on the screen an indication that it's going to be recorded, or that it is being recorded. What we will be doing is we'll be posting a link to the recording on the members only section of the BTA website tomorrow. So if you or someone in your dealership, one of your colleagues, you want them to hear what you've heard today, then you'll be able to let them, you know, replay the entire webinar and see that. Along with that, a PDF of the PowerPoint has actually been posted on the BTA website. I think by now we usually post it towards the end of the webinar, so that is on the BTA website as well. If you're wondering, how do I find that? BTA members, if you go to bta.org/ and then the word diversifying with ing, so diversifying as in diversifying my business webinar. So bta.org/diversifying, you'll be able to find the link to the PowerPoints that you can download it. Tomorrow, you'll be able to go to that same page and you'll see a link to the recording. That kind of takes us overnight to make sure all is well for the recording and get that ready to go. So watch for that. While you're on the website, I would encourage you to go ahead and register for the next BTA Diversifying My Business webinar. You can see it there on the screen. That webinar will be navigating the shift traditional faxing versus secure cloud faxing. That would be presented by RJ Shepard, who's the National Channel Manager for eGoldFax. You can see on the screen there. So that'll take place, I think it's 2 weeks from today at 4 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, the 23rd of July. So, you know, yet another opportunity. If that's of interest to you, I would encourage you to attend that webinar. I'm kind of watching Q&A and chat. I do not see any questions coming up. Maybe Brett, you can go back to that previous screen. Did you have what to do in terms of contact information? I'm trying to remember. There you go. So if you do have a question, you can reach out. There's the contact information there. I'm sure that question will get to the appropriate person of that email, and then you can ask your question if you want to do that offline. So again, you know, thank you, Jeff and Brett and Meg for presenting today. Excellent job. Lots of good information, as I said. So appreciate it. We're certainly grateful for Konica Minolta and Square Nine's membership in the association, their support of the association, and in turn, the support of the BTA dealer channel. And attendees, we're grateful as well for your membership in the association. So we'll look forward to seeing you in the next BTA webinar that was mentioned earlier, coming up on July 23rd. So with that, we'll go ahead and end the webinar today and look forward to seeing you down the road. Thanks all. Bye for now.
Thanks, Brent.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brent.